we move to the next news video, as this will focus more or less on NXT, but also providing an update on the situation as to why WWE chose to allow certain people in the draft to be free agents. But we start with an interesting news story that I thought was entertaining. On a recent edition of the Kurt Angle podcast, Kurt Angle actually disclosed that he has a knack for drumming and often dreamt about being asked to join Chris Jericho's band. Just imagine Kurt Angle in Fozzy. I'm not saying Kurt Angle does not have the capability to be a more than capable drummer. I just can't exactly see Kurt Angle in a band with Chris Jericho, especially the type of band that Fozzy is. But I mean, Kurt Angle always surprises us, even now, or still surprising us even now. Again, if you don't want spoilers for NXT, I will give you the opportunity to know when the spoiler is coming, and you can click off the video, as we're not going to talk about the spoiler just yet. We jump in instead to our favorite Heritage Cup holder. Our favorite Heritage Cup holder, the Scottish Supernova Noam Dar, officially discloses the name of his group, as the name of his group has actually got an ironic oxymoron of a name, that being Metaphor. And that is not METAPHOR. It is actually META, META 4, the number. Again, Metaphor was actually introduced at what was it? Battleground. NXT Battleground over the week, Memorial Day weekend, and it brought new people to, honestly, it brought new people to television and gave new people something to do with Ora Mensa, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend. To my knowledge, not having really much to do before being brought into a faction with Noam Dar. But that's what I like. That's what factions are for, to be honest. They are meant to elevate talent or give talent something to do that may not have had something to do beforehand. And that is exactly what Noam Dar is allowing his faction to have the opportunity to do. And you gotta just wonder what the expectation is for Ora Mensa, Jakara Jackson, and Lash Legend at this point with the Scottish Supernova. And if we jump over to AEW for a second, Jeff Jarrett actually apparently trademarked heat, the term heat, for wrestling or entertainment use purposes. The only thing that would make sense to me is if the name of Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal's faction is actually called Heat. That would be the only thing that makes sense to me as far as I'm concerned. Otherwise, there is absolutely no way he should be able to trademark that term unless it is minutely specific what he is trademarking that term for. And now, well, I will keep an eye on that so you guys don't have to. Again, also Dana Brooke actually segue back. We jump back to WWE as that was the last bit of AEW news that I forgot to share in the last video. But we jump back to NXT now as Dana Brooke appeared on NXT alongside Ali and Baron Corbin. We will get to the reason why in a second, but Dana Brooke appeared on NXT this week as more main roster talent continue to appear on NXT. And, the reason being, here's the reason why Dana Brooke and Ali, Baron Corbin, etc., the free agents, appeared on NXT. And the reason why the free agents have been appearing on NXT is because that is basically the reason why WWE did that. And though there was a little bit of a sour taste in the mouths of the fans based on the term free agent, in the past, WWE actually had a plan for the free agents this time, as a number of NXT stars asked to work with Mustafa Ali and Baron Corbin, and also basically Ali and Corbin were sent down to NXT to allow them to basically get an idea of where certain talent are. I think clearly Corbin's process is to get the idea of where Carmelo Hayes is. I could see Ali working with Wes Lee, Tyler Bate, Joe Gacy, etc., and getting an idea of where they are. And also, apparently, it was to allowing this process to open with Ali and Corbin specifically. It is to give both men the opportunity to refresh their characters a bit in a new setting. Because though Corbin has been in NXT in the past, to my knowledge, I'm not sure if Mustafa Ali has. I don't really remember his NXT run sticking out, but which I don't think. Now that I think about it, I think he was brought in in the early outset of the cruiserweight division, so I don't think he was actually on NXT. I could be wrong though. If I was, feel free to correct me. But it's good to see them on. I mean, in my opinion, I'm glad they're on NXT. You know, they'll be assets to the company in NXT, and I think Corbin would be a perfect month or few month feud in the world title picture. Now, if you don't want to know, spoilers from NXT yesterday, this is where you can move a little bit ahead. This is where you can move a little bit ahead, as Thea Hale actually won a number one contender battle royal for the NXT Women's Championship last night on NXT. I honestly, when I heard about this, I was shocked. Not to say that Thea Hale does not deserve it. She does. It's just she doesn't seem to compete that often. And when she does, it's not in a major way. It is under the spotlight of Chase U. But to see them actually giving her that opportunity, to see her getting that opportunity, and to see them putting the spotlight on Chase U with her being the one to get the spotlight, I mean, it's a positive step in the right direction. You know, you got to see what Thea Hale has to offer, and the only way to do it is sink or swim. But also, following the Battle Royal, Hannah and Haley Cavender, the newest twins that were signed as a part of the Next in Line program with WWE, may be joining NXT relatively soon, as Hannah and Haley Cavender are joined Thea Hale in the ring with for the Chase U celebration after the Battle Royal, and were front and center on the hard camera side. This last night was their debut on NXT, so I hope for the best. You know, I hope for the best for the twins, and NXT could use some women, some additions to the women's division at this point, with a lot of the tag team division being sent up to the main roster. You know, a lot of the tag team division was sent up to the main roster. So, props to Thea Hale. Welcome to NXT for the Cavender twins. as they played college basketball in the University of Miami, and they opted out of their 5th year of NCAA eligibility to join WWE pretty much. And they started training back in April with, they started training recently, actually, at the Performance Center for WWE. Now it is I believe just one thing left to say, and the one thing left taken away from NXT is that Braun Breaker challenged World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins for a title match, not on the main roster. Braun Breaker's not making the move to the main roster. Braun challenged Rollins to come to NXT and show how much of a fighting champion he is, defending his World Heavyweight Championship on Tuesday night against Braun Breaker, which is absolutely crazy in my opinion, that Rollins not only is going to make his return to NXT, but is going to defend the World Heavyweight Championship against Braun Breaker. I honestly don't know what to say to that. And, you know, props to WWE for doing something that not only dumbfounds fans, but catches us completely off guard. With that being said, though, that is it for the news, and I will see you in the next video. We also have the preview for Dynamite later tonight, so if you're looking forward to that, stay tuned.